What's up, guys? This is Isaiah from Games, and today we're doing another long stream. I forgot to put up this little notice on social media, so I'm doing that right now. Might actually work in our favor because every other time that I've been posting this stuff, I've been doing it like an hour or two in advance, and this is the first time that I'm doing it like on time. So maybe it'll help. What's the date today? 19th. And I still need to make it. Oh, jeez. Today, what I'm going to be covering is fixing. What's up, dude? I'm going to be fixing Aniah's idle animation. My brain is not working very well today for some reason. I have no idea why. I think it might be allergies. My head feels like someone's trying to crush it, and I can't breathe very well. So, wait, no, that's the weekly recap. Stream, there we go. See, Tuesday, yeah, I did make it. I just didn't save it. Alright. You get to watch me post stuff on social media before I start this, because I forgot to post it. Stream notices 419. Yes. Hey. I don't even know if that's Razor Ramon voice. I don't, but that's what I think of when I hear hey. Oh, and Supreme DDT, you can see on our stream now, it shows your name for the dollar. So the way, I guess, that your PayPal was set up, it did go through, it just had that like 3 to 5 day delay. So you didn't get to hear that sweet sound, sadly. But I'll play it for you if you want to hear it. There. Now to Twitter. Hey, see, I know that one. I used to watch Happy Days a lot when I was younger. Streaming analytics, no, just... There, that should be everything. Now we can get to the fun stuff. So today I'm going to work on Aniah's idle animation because as I have shown you guys in the previous ones, there's a bad pop between her run animation and her idle animation because her idle was an older animation. Yeah, it's pretty hot. Sweating right now. But I also think that's probably my allergies causing that. Or I just feel like my brain's kind of like, then my body thinks it can sweat out allergies or something. I don't know. What am I doing? Going to work. Work through the allergies. I can do it. My eyes are lacking focus. Movement. Idle. Nope, not that one. Idle, there we go. Yes, that one. That's it. And yep. So, I'm going to be able to work on one of her idols. Might be able to do both. Because I'm not going to be doing like a ton of redrawing. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing a lot of like copy these lines and paste them into the idle. That way I kind of like make sure there's not popping. And I gotta fix something in Twitch alerts real quick. So if people do follow or donate, the sound is loud enough. Because I remember Miss DJM was saying that it was really quiet. So follow alerts, volume 100%. Save. Let's test a follow alert. Sound good? Description alert. Well, no one's subscribing because I'm not doing it, but I'll save it anyways. Donation alert. Volume up. Here, I'll play it for you, Supreme DDT. We're gonna test the donation alert, but this is dedicated to you because your thing took a couple days to go through. Yeah. There you go. Dedicated to you. Alright, so this is her run. Let's open up Unity as well. I have more beer this time, so I should be good. Worth this. You know what? That was a 3-day wait, so I'm gonna play it for you just one more time, just because I like it. So again, dedicated to you. There you go. Worth the wait. What's up, Boyd? Alright, so I'll demonstrate what I'm going to be fixing. I showed this to you guys before, but I'm going to show it again. So you can see from her idle to her down run, she looks pretty good. There's like really minor pops, but to me, it looks good. And I'm not even going to touch it. I like it. However, there's a really bad pop from here to here. You can see that her like hair shape changes, the location of the green thing in her hair changes. Now I might actually edit this in the run animation. So today will be an interesting stream for you guys because I'm not making new content, I'm fixing current content, which is actually a lot of what work is you get it in there and then you're like, no, this doesn't look good. So for this edit, I'm gonna pull her little green thing up so it's closer to her head and her whole ponytail. But then I'm gonna copy the rest of this into the idle. And then you can see here her idle face looks funky, but her run animation looks pretty cool. So the rest of her's okay. Like the line quality is kind of poor in her idle animation. I think that's because I sharpened it too much. So I could potentially get to that eventually. Her feet are a little big, but are they here? They're fine. So her side run animation, her feet are a little big. But we're going to do one thing at a time, because when I start doing like, oh, this needs fixed, then you freak out and then you don't want to do anything. So, first thing. I am going to pull this green hairband up for her run animation. Right here. So I'm going to hide all this, hide her colors, bring this back up, and start fixing this. So, again, a nice thing that since I had separated everything into different layers, fixing this kind of stuff is actually quite easy. Because I was smart in separating out lines and colors, so I can just hide my colors and fix this. So, here we go. Frame by frame. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this part of her hair for every frame, and then I'm going to move them all up together. So that's one. What this will do is it will assure that when I move the hair up, that every frame, since I already have her head bob and like the height of every frame working just right, I don't want to like screw with this frame by frame. I'm going to be editing every frame at once with the line work. Today's Tuesday. How's your Tuesday going? Falcor, come here. Nothing but crickets. Nobody's on a Tuesday. Is today even Tuesday? What is real life? Alright, so I have all of the frames for her hair done. Now... Oh yeah, it's windy here too. It feels nice, so it's not so frickin' hot. I'm gonna actually just cut this, put it in its own layer, call it Pony Fix. So, let's see. I'm just gonna keep this really crappy for now. That is okay. Because I wanna just check the lines and see if the lines are popping really bad. Ooh, we got a... that's a host, right? Yay, Miss the AGM is hosting. What's up, Golden Wolf? Yes. Okay. Hey, we got a new follower. Depot assets. Art. Sprites. Units. Aniah. There we go. Okay, so now, the reason I just put in the lines is because I just want to watch See, that looks, see how it's not way better, but, or, I mean, it is way better, it's not perfect, but you can see that instead of her hair popping out, it's now closer to her neck. So now it's a little too close, but I can edit that. I could go for a little cold weather. I do like Hawaii since we moved, but I really appreciate the nights of like cuddling up in some sweats and sweatshirt and all that. It's pretty nice. Doesn't need to move that much. Probably down and left a little bit. It's like kind of like that. Working smart is how you work fast. You don't work fast by like pushing buttons really fast. You work fast by knowing what you're doing. That just comes with experience. There, that looks a lot better. So you can see where this little green ponytail or band is. The jump to it is not so awkward now, so it doesn't go like... Kind of like where that is right there. Don't worry about how these lines are clipping, that's all easy stuff to fix. Cool. So now we'll do the same on this side. So this is how it was originally. You know, her ponytail was way out here, or connected way down here. So we connected it up closer. And that's one less thing that's gonna pop. Overwatch does? Well, today's Tuesday. So I'm gonna do the same thing for her other run. So this will be Ponyfix right run. This will be next one. Bolo64. I have not seen him here before. You get my rhyme? So I want to say hello to Bolo64. How'd you find out about this stream? So, doing the exact same thing. Put it into its own layer. Be pony, fix, left, run. So now, I'm just gonna push it like this. Well, Supreme DDT is a pretty good friend if he tells you about the coolest things happening on the internet. We're the coolest thing. Let's see how this looks. A little better, yeah. So on my butt for 50 hours a day, staring at this screen, sucking my soul through my eyes. Let's see how this looks. A little better, yeah. So move it down a little more. That's okay. As long as you poke in and say hi every once in a while. Because if you don't say hi, then I'm gonna have to ban you. Just kidding. Oh, should I turn my lamp on? Is my face really dark? Or is it like just right? Look at this. It's a little better, I think. My face is sexy as fuck. Thank you, Boyd. So is yours. I think that looks better. Okay, so that's one pop dealt with. So her hair does not pop out too far. Looks pretty good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy line work from this. Well, first I'm gonna clean this so that way I don't forget. So I'm gonna merge those two pony layers and erase the lines that are clipping. You know, I'm gonna just redraw these lines too. So let's see here. Diameter should be all set up already. So come down a bit closer like that. Poke out so far. PlayStation 4 and PC for sure. PlayStation's always been pretty good with supporting indie devs. I have no desire to do it on Microsoft because I know Microsoft just likes to screw people over. So, PS4 or PlayStation Network rather, and like Steam and GOG and all those good like PC and Mac as well. I want to do Mac native because I feel like that's something Blizzard does really smart. And I think that they're not doing it smart with Overwatch because, you know, World of Warcraft is really popular, and there's a lot of people that I know that just play it on Mac because, like, that's what they have. So, yeah, Mac native. It's a possibility, but... And I was originally wanting to do that, but Vita native is kind of a different beast. Like, you have to deal with really strict hardware limitations, as opposed to if someone had like a PlayStation 4 and then they just streamed it to their Vita. So that's easy, and it's not limited by the Vita hardware because it's streamed. And also I've kind of been wanting to do it on, like, you know, Nintendo DS, but thinking about all that, like, release target and stuff is very far down the line. But the absolute yeses are going to be PC, Mac, PlayStation Network. And then anything else will be after that. So you can see what I'm doing here. You may not actually notice. I'm actually switching between layers as I paint because I don't want to be screwing with this ponytail fix that I did, while also fixing my lines for her. And I don't know how I could show you guys, but I'm actually left-handed, so I rebind all my keys for quick stuff with my right hand. So I have, like, the brush is O, eraser is I, and then I have all quick keys to, like, swap between layers as I paint. And because I've been doing that for so long, it's just kind of second nature now. So if you ever do this, I encourage you to make it work for you. And it might be a little weird for a while, but then afterwards, you're going to be thanking yourself that you put in the time to make it custom to how you want it to work. Same with how I do stuff in Maya in 3D. I created, like, my own quick keys and hotbox menus, marquee menus, and I can just, like, bust out all the tools I want very quickly because for several years I just made that tool set for myself way back when I was at Sucker Punch, and then I just carried it with me when I went to Bungie and still use it at home. Got a sneeze coming on. Never thought when I moved to Hawaii I would have so many allergy problems, because I grew up not really having allergy problems. And then whenever I'd visit, I guess, you know, it was never long enough for me to notice. I'd just be like, oh, I'm sneezing. But ever since we moved, it's a little bit better now that I have, like, some beer in me, so that kind of, like, it's that phenomenon where people say when they drink, like, whiskey. Thank you, Miss DJM. When you drink whiskey, it'll, like, help relax your sinuses. Same thing. So that's another reason why I drink beer frequently, because it helps alleviate my sinus issues. I think that's all clean. I think that's the bottom one, right? Good. This is the one I just did. Okay, so we'll save that. Make sure I didn't, like, break anything in the process of cleaning it up. And then I'm going to be copying her head stuff over to her idol to fix her odd pop. And if I can get that done quickly, then I will fix the coloring. And ideally, like, I'll have all this stuff, like, fixed to show you guys by the end. Yeah. This one looks really good. This one's a little funky. But I'm not going to be that anal about that. Okay. That looks okay. Well, from what I hear, whiskey is like the one that works for most people. Like having a glass or two of whiskey will just like help people's sinuses, I don't know, relax or something. Alright, so I'm going to be copying her lines over to here, and you can see that there's a big difference in line quality. I think, is my image size wrong? No, I don't think so. See how like chunky and gross her arm is? I think it's because I over sharpened it. So I have all my stuff organized the same. So which one is this? Yeah, I think I over sharpened her lines, and now it looks like crazy jagged. Lines. This needs to be in. No. Oh, I know. No. What? Oh, invert. There we go. There we go. I can delete that. Delete that. There we go. This inside. And we're good. Yeah, look how jagged all her lines are. I'm not gonna do that today, because that's gonna take a long time. I don't know how that happened. I wouldn't think I would ever sharpen it that bad. Because I'm not that dumb. Huh. Yeah, all of her line, except for like, you can see in her hair it's a little bit better, but her, like all this is super jagged. And I'll show you for like frame of reference. Zoom this into 200%. See how like smooth this line work is? Like none of this is jagged, it's all nice and creamy, silky. And that is actually very noticeable when you're in the game. I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it, especially since I'm recording at 720p and not 1080p. You know what I can do? I can go like this and show you. And play her idle animation. Idle left. So can't note. You don't. I mean, you notice it most here on her arm. It's kind of jagged, but I mean that's because I'm zoomed in so far. But this is getting to like into super subtleties, and I'm not worrying about that right now because that's another thing of just like experience of not letting yourself get sidetracked with side quests. You got a main quest line you're trying to do in life, and the main quest line right now is to fix the pop between her idle and her run. So side quest later will be potentially redraw the lines for her idle everywhere to make it look creamier. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is copy her face. So that'll be all these. Going to hide this and hide this. Copy. It'd be kind of neat if questing was a thing in real life. Well, I guess questing is really just an abstraction of life. Like you got like a main quest line you're following, and then there's like other things in life you want to do, but do you want to focus on it? So the head bob's going to be wrong because she's running. So you can see that this one here is much higher than like this one. So I'm just going to have to edit that. And I'm going to cut her heads. I'm going to cut her head off. Her face doesn't look right. Her face is unacceptable, so we have to cut her head off. Very morbid. Okay. So, we will drop the opacity on those down, just for position's sake. Move her new head up. I might have to tweak scale. It doesn't look like I do, because her ear size looks good. Her neck. I'm gonna just have to, like, do my best. But... okay, so... I get a guide down like this. This one obviously needs to move down. Out there. Gonna erase these lines. Move this one down. Erase these lines. If the wind chimes are ever annoying you guys, just tell me and I'll press pause on the game. I kind of don't really notice it because I just focus on working. This one seems way off. This is gonna be weird. So that, what sucks about starting to shift things horizontally like this is when I start bringing this into Unity, like her head might go like all funky, and we'll see it. So that's where it starts to get really annoying. Or I gotta like go through, fix every single frame to get her head in the right position. And you can tell already, like if I hide the head refer lines, like how clean and smooth her headlines are compared to this is like super jagged. See how like crunchy that looks? So that's where I'm saying I need to like fix that. Oops. Our idle animation's only 5 frames. Okay. Alright. Let's just save that and see how it looks. Idle. Now all of her idle animations are going to be only line work. So now you'll see all this turns to lines. Boop. We weren't. There we go. So there's obviously some stuff I need to fix with her hair like going like in like that, and that's just lines that need to be redrawn. But right now what we care most about is the pop. And you can see the pop is almost completely gone. So now compare it to this. See how she has like a hair shape pop, her mouth pops. I'll kind of show you guys. You see there's like this popping in the shape and the lines, and her mouth looks different. So that's how it was, and so now this is how it is now. So the pop is a little different, like her head kind of goes up larger, but that's because I think I have my pixel scaling a little different for the run animations. So what that can mean is I just need to blow up her head size a teeny bit by like maybe 5%. As you can see, her eye gets larger. Yeah. And that's also probably why her hair here is not matching down to the pony band correctly. But this is a huge step forward. So this is what I was talking about, like, if you work smart, you can make big leaps in a short amount of time. What did that take? Maybe 15, 20 minutes to eliminate a lot of that popping? So, I'm going to scale her head up. For each frame by about 5%, and I'm going to put the scaling like right here, because it's kind of the middle-ish, where her ear touches her sideburn thingy. So let's try 105. That seems too big. I need my reference in here. We pretty much just have the idle animation with the pets right now. $103. Feel like that's it, right? 103. Just that subtle little bit. Same thing. One thing I didn't notice is I didn't notice her head going like this. So that's a good thing. That means since I moved her head forward in this frame, I think, there was not an animation issue, which is good. 3. So this will actually degrade the quality of the lines because I'm scaling it up. You can, again, subtle. Oh, this one. The lines are looking a little blurry now here, as opposed to right here it's kind of crisp, you can see. Here it's kind of blurry, and I can fix that with an unsharp mask. Worst case scenario, I just have to redraw it. This is, exactly what I was saying. 50% make something new, or I'd say maybe 30% make something new, 70% make it look like it's supposed to be there. Nudging this a lot. So this will take less time for her other side because I'm gonna just copy these faces. No, I'm gonna copy the other because her face gets covered. But the process will be similar, and because I kind of have that like 103%, oh, I know I need it. The process should be similar, quick and easy. So I'll hide this and this. There, her head's a little bit bigger. Voila. There's a tiny pop, but it's so small that when I actually put colors in, don't even really notice. To me, I would consider that good. I'm gonna run way down here. That looks pretty good to me. Like I can, you know, clean up the line work here so that the lines aren't disappearing. I don't know if this is clipping. I actually need to check that now. Idle. So this is something I had to do before editing the sprite sheet. Yep, I am correct. Wow. How is this off so far? So every one of these, oops, every one of these cells needs to be scooted over like this. I have no idea why they're all so far out. So I'm gonna pay attention to the X pivot. Okay, wait. So 180 to 160. So that's 20 pixels. I'm gonna write this down. Oh. Minus 20 pixels, and then the pivot needs to go to 0.45. So this will go to 500. Oh, not 50. Give it a 45. Rinse and repeat. 20 is 840. 45. I have a feeling I'm going to want to extend her vertical, the verticality of her cell a little bit. It's 1180. 45. 1520. 45. Apply that. Okay. Bring up the window, the animation window again, because I don't need to like play the game to see if she's not clipping. The left. Yeah. It's very obvious she was clipping before, and now she is not. So now we'll play it. Yeah. That looks pretty good to me. I like that. There's a little bit of a pop with her hair kind of going down when she runs, but to me, that I would pass that as like cool animation subtlety, like, oh, now there's a force pulling on her hair because she's running. So that's good. Her face looks good. There's maybe popping in this stuff, but what matters most is people's faces and heads, and that's what you see. Final Fantasy Tactics. Dark Souls. That may sound... Oh, and Diablo 2. Those two might sound strange, but Dark Souls truly is a marvel of action-adventure RPG design, because the game is very difficult, but it is not difficult because of numbers. It is not a grinding game. It is not like an equipment game. It is purely difficult and mechanic. Like, if you completed the game and you had all the best gear in the game, but then you let your like significant other or your friend or your younger brother or sister play it with all your best gear against the very beginning enemies that are, you know, considered the weakest, that beginning enemy will completely destroy them in seconds if they don't know what they're doing. And that's because the difficulty in the game is not in grinding gear and grinding stats and leveling up. It's purely, this thing swings at this speed, so you need to know to dodge or block at this pace, then roll in and attack. And every enemy has a different attack design pattern. So you have to go through the game at a pace to where you can actually learn what the enemies are doing and react to it. Because if you just start running through things, then they'll just kill you in like 2-3 hits. And I actually kind of want to implement that in Gaimoria to where we're not using gear, we're not using leveling, we're not using stats. Like, Zelda doesn't use stats. There's actually a lot in common with Zelda and Dark Souls. Like, the difficulty in Zelda comes from enemies that have different mechanics. Like, this creature will dive bomb on you faster, or it has like a little more health, or like when you hit it with your sword, it doesn't get knocked back as much. For example, like there's some mummies in Zelda where you hit them with your sword and they're like the only things that don't actually get knocked back. So you have to completely change how you think, how you can fight this mummy in Zelda based off of how you know to play the game, and that's exactly what Dark Souls is all about. So to me, Dark Souls is a huge inspiration for mastery in encounter design. And then Diablo is purely an aesthetic thing. Like, we have the demon temples and stuff here that I don't want to reveal story-wise, and I've just always loved that creepy demon stuff, and I kind of asked, like, how can I bring in this, like, demon stuff into, like, an mostly pretty Secret of Mana kind of world. And, but really, Zelda has some pretty freaky crap in it, too. If you played Ocarina of Time on 64, what's it called? Shadow Temple? Oops. I mean, the graphics look garbage now because it was Nintendo 64, but this was pretty freaky for, like, you know, a pretty overall, like, good look, like, happy looking game. And this, like, boss had this freaky ass head. Yeah. So, Zelda actually does have some pretty freaky stuff in it. And the Re-Dead, this is like this creature that screams at you and you get, like, paralyzed in fear, and then it jumps on your head and it starts sucking on your brains. So, this is all within the realm of reality of creepy stuff in a pretty game. I hope that answers your question. I guess to answer that, like, I feel like it's getting darker now. I'm gonna turn my lamp on. The entirety of the game is, like, my inspiration, so, well, even when it comes down to, like, the plants that I paint and the NPC races that I draw, like the Avduin, I've always thought, like, birds and owls and stuff were awesome, like in Secret of Nim. I love I don't remember the race in Wind Waker, where there's like the mail guy. He comes flying around and delivers mail, and I just love that. So there's just like all these subtleties, but I guess kind of the ones that Secret of Mana, Zelda, Pokemon, Dark Souls, and Diablo are the most apparent. So back to this. So this looks good. Happy with it. I am going to continue to the same thing on this side. So my goal for this stream is I'm going to fix both sides and I'm going to fix the coloring. So that way in their final states, we don't have that pop anymore. So, new heads, this is going to get deleted. That's the old head ref. Merge this into lines. Then I can go back to here and copy this head. Copy pasta. So, cut off her head here again. The reference placement. Another thing that was popping, I remember, is the shadow on her neck. Oh, my butt's getting numb again. The shadow on her neck for her idol. You can see when I enable it, she doesn't have shadow on her neck. So that means her neck is like... Same on this side too, yeah. So I need to add that shadow to her neck. But we'll get to that when we get to that stage. Old head ref. Hillary won in New York. New York, what are you doing? They want to perpetuate the political money machine. Well, guess what? I have a good feeling that Bernie will decimate in California because it seems like the whole West Coast, Alaska and Hawaii, usually have the same mentality of who they feel like should be president. So even if Bernie loses New York, I bet he'll do well in California. And that was the same thing that happened when Obama was, that whole election was going on. They're like, oh, McCain's doing okay. Oh, wait, the entire West Coast voted Obama. Now it's a shutout. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. No one expects the West Coast. Down. See how this looks. Alright, save this. Copy. Check that out. So you can tell I have that clipping I gotta fix again. Her hair's getting clipped off. But you can tell the pop is very minor. Oh yeah, I need to increase the size of her head a little bit. Yeah. 103%, that's what I did. So do that first. Let's see, where can I put this? Try and assume her ear's like right here. – Oh. It's not 103%. What did I do? Is it? Just seems really big. We'll see. Well, that's kind of the whole trial and error thing. If it doesn't work, then I'll just have to fix it. Oh, that's correct. Alright, so fix the sprite cells as I had to before. So I had to move it 20 pixels. Then I had to adjust my X pivot. So let's try it 100 pixels. I'm gonna do it 30 for this one, so 30 pixels. Oops, I didn't actually pay attention. Okay, so 30 pixels. And the pivot needs to go to try 5.5. Oh, 4.5 again. Nope. 5. Yep. Yep. So in that case, custom pivot will be center. So 450. Pivot to center. 790. Center. 1130. Center. 1470. Center. Apply. Try that. Nice. Ta-da! Your bug. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. This looks good. That looks good. Yay! That's how you get rid of popping. Now, her transfer from her idle to her... I mean, like, her ponytail is, like, kind of gets bigger when she runs, but, like, who cares? Like, I can fix that easy. Just by drawing a slightly thicker thing, but this looks good. Yes. Ta-da! Cool. So, you know, I was saying I was concerned about how, since I blew her lines up by 103%, that they might have gotten too soft. But they look okay. So, I'm just gonna do some line cleanups on, like, these empty spots. Get rid of her old head ref. So I'll just clean up the lines on this, and then fix the colors. I've been doing this for about an hour, so... Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole thing with art, too, is, like, if you can kind of explain it, then don't fix it. Like, why make more work for yourself than you need to? Alright, so... Actually, this should just be the same. Let's see here. Oh, make your ponytail correct. Pony lines. That. No. Hair's in front. No. Hair should be behind. This one I just need to go like that. I have to redraw that. It's okay. I'm gonna merge this. Well, not yet. Let me fix it up here first. So, it'll be her back. It's her back. Cuts in a lot. So, it'll be her back. There. So now I can merge it. Plug in here. Move my head a lot when I draw. So if I look funny, then I'm glad I'm entertaining you. I actually didn't even notice I did that, and then I was rewatching one of my streams, and I was like, why am I moving my head so much? And I think it's just like one of those things, like, you never really know about yourself until you look at yourself. So now I'm like super conscious, is like, oh, why I move my head so much? Okay. This is all a mess up here too. Yeah, that was another thing I had to fix. Her undershirt wasn't showing. Wait. Collar piece. Close. Cherish told me it was actually relaxing for her to just watch me paint and draw. Kind of like Bob Ross. Alright. Oh, still gotta draw in her back lines here. Maybe I should watch some Bob Ross. Because he doesn't have music play, but people love watching him. But I also think he was stoned out of his mind all the time. Which is not a bad thing. I just can't smoke because it just makes me anxious. So I could try to be a little more intoxicated for these, and then I could have my own colorful language. Well, when I start painting environments, I'll try and remember to do some Bob Ross commentary. Because I definitely, I paint happy trees. Okay. So that's mostly cleaned up. Let's save this, get it in, see how it looks. And if it's okay, then I'm gonna fix her colors. Pretty good to me. That one looks really funky. This one looks good. I mean, there's kind of like some things moving around, but this one's really weird. Okay, so one thing I gotta do is I need to add this line in. And my Wacom decided to just completely stop working. Seriously? Right in the middle of this? It's not working now. Wow, okay. To plug it in, and I'll probably have to like restart Photoshop because it decided to just stop working all of a sudden. And usually when that happens, I have to like reset its settings. Alright, I have no choice but to be connected. Bug is driving me crazy. Alright, so as I have guessed, now it's putting my Wacom on my second monitor. And I bet if I click this, it says Wacom does not exist. Oh, surprise, surprise. And then I have to redo this. Monitor 1. Okay. Do I have to restart? No? Okay, let's try it. Alright, we're good. Yeah, your only Control Z back then was to just paint or draw over the top of it. Oh yeah, so with this I was not happy with this stuff. So I want this line to exist. So this line was weird. Put in. Alright. See how this looks? Lines are kind of... that. Alright, save that. I gotta pee real soon, guys. But you know what's even more awesome? I have another beer in the fridge. So if you guys don't want me to go because you'll miss me too much, I have another beer to keep me going. I could totally find something else to work on if you guys want. After I get her idle stuff done. Okay. That looks a little better. It's less funky. It moves a lot for being an idle. See, this one's like, it's good that it moves because her head's moving when she's in an idle, but this one's like, womp, womp, womp. So, let's see here. Since her run animation... I can always leave. I'll just bust the door down. So her run animation, her hair comes out to here. So there... How many frames is that? I'm gonna stop the play and go to her actual animation. Close this, so I can actually see which frames I need to fix. Idle left. Yeah, see how weird that looks? So the last two look good, it's the first three that don't. Yeah, okay, look at that massive jump from frame 3, or from frame 4 to or 3 to 0. Your head, like, her hair expands way out there. Bug is still trying to kill me by driving me insane. Okay, so these frames look good. This is very bad. Like 4 to, yeah, 3 and 4 to this. This is okay, so I need to go to frame 0, 1, and 2, and just kind of like warp them out like this. So this will degrade the quality again, but that's okay because I just want to get the shape right. So it'll come out and down. That, yeah. Yeah. So that's the nice thing about the warp tool. You can tweak your lines very easily. without really having to redraw it. I mean, I'll redraw it because this kind of degrades the line quality, as I just said, but it will allow you to, like, get a rough in there. That looks like it's too much. Probably, like, right there. Yeah. Yeah, you see how, like, blurry that got now? That's okay. I can just redraw. I just want to get it in the right spot. There. So I can redraw those lines. Save it, see if it looks good. Oh, I gotta pee. Oh, I gotta pee. See how this looks. It's a little better. I think the only thing is one of them has 2 lines and that looks kind of funky, but I think the general shape is okay. So let's put it in play mode, 1080p. See how she looks. This is the good side. Yeah, that's acceptable now. I'm not even really worried about that second line. Well, I can fix that. Which one? Oh, it's this one. Alright, I'm gonna pee. And then I'll bring back a beer. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I started freaking out. I thought one of my beers disappeared and I was like, no! But it rolled into the back of the fridge. So I'm okay. Okay, so now... Well, let's look at the quality, see if it's, like, noticeably blurry. No, it's okay. So I'll just, like, kind of touch up the lines, but I won't, like, redraw them completely. Just do it like that. Kind of, like, make them look nice again. Yeah, don't hide my beers or I'll bite you. Cool. Final save for the lines, and then move on to colors. Yeah. Good. 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 Noticeable pops when she runs. I know it's like torture when someone else is having a beer. I think there's like a month ago, I didn't have any, and then Boyd and my other friend Alex, we were playing Overwatch, and they both like opened beers at the same time, and I didn't have any, and I just cried. All right, so the lines look good. We took care of that big pop issue. The lines are cleaned up. Big difference. So now I'm going to fix her colors, which is really not that difficult. It's just a matter of like kind of refilling in the colors and the lines. So, you know, her hair doesn't fit where it should be, so that's all I gotta do. I have a whole bunch of Ragnarok Online songs stuck in my head. I used to play that so much. Still like listening to the music. I guess that's actually another inspiration. When you asked earlier, Ragnarok Online is actually a really big inspiration of mine. That was kind of like a cute game. The music was really peaceful. I just liked that game a lot. I was also young, so like I had the time to play a grindy Korean MMO. But I don't play grindy Korean MMOs anymore. Play games like Dark Souls, where the difficulty comes from mechanic and not by numbers. Undershirt. Should be doing this. That needs to be fixed later. So it's important to actually not have a background when you're painting this because Aniah is going to be going over all sorts of background colors. So when it's like this, it kind of helps you see the transparency a little bit, just that checkered pattern. Their shirt. So, I'm going to be annoying and say it again. Someone asked me a question. I like talking when I work. And if I have a question from someone, then I can, like, talk while I work, and I like that. More interesting to people that watch it afterwards on YouTube, too. Since I haven't mastered how Bob Ross talked to his viewers quite yet. I'm kind of going through all her layers, just doing a bit of polish on everything. Fixing her tunic stuff too. I think that's all. Oh, this sucks. So that'll become noticeable after. My layers are all weird on this too. They were probably all as baked as he was. I bet, because it was like the 70s, you know, they were all total stoners. They probably all just smoked weed together, and then he just painted, and then they all just hung out. I am looking forward to Overwatch. Absolutely. Overwatch. That game has just surprised me far beyond what I ever imagined I thought would actually be fun for an FPS. I enjoy it thoroughly. I really like Overwatch. And, I'm actually sad that there's gonna be a bit of downtime because they have closed beta right now, which I'm in thanks to my friend at Blizzard, and got Boyd and a couple other friends into it as well for the closed beta. But then they have the open beta, May 5th to the 9th. But from the 9th to the 20-somethingth, 3rd, 22nd, 4th, 3rd, when it releases, there's no one that can play it. And I was talking with my friend at Blizzard, and she's like, oh, maybe it's because they're gonna like try to deprime all the pros. And part of me feels like that is kind of true. Because when me and Boyd were playing on Friday, like, I wouldn't say me and Boyd are amazing, but we're like, you know, we get it. But everyone else was so new that we just decimated everybody. I'm pretty sure we played about 20 games, and I think we lost maybe 2. So we went like 18-2 on Friday, and that was just hilarious. Because you have this like super tiny group of people that know exactly what they're doing, know exactly what the characters are, know all the maps, know like the balance and the meta, and then he introduced a bunch of people that have no idea what they're doing. And now we didn't go ham, we went bacon on them. That was supposed to be a funny joke, maybe a dad joke, but maybe it's not funny. Yeah, we went bacon on them. And that was fun. And then my wife played with me and Boyd on Saturday. And, you know, and then all the scrubs were gone because that was only like a 2-day open beta event. And then Cherish was like, I'm so bad at this game. I don't know if I like it. I'm like, well, that's because you should have played with us the day before. Because that's when all the idiots, well, not idiots, but just people that didn't know what they were doing were playing. And, but she had to work late, so she couldn't. So, yeah, I love the character design. It's so much faster paced than what I had thought I would have been comfortable with. But I got used to it after a couple weeks, and I really like it. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, like as Revolio says, he's not interested. I had the same mentality, like I had no interest until I actually played it. So my friend got me into the beta, and I was just like, yeah, I'll try it out. Um, because I don't really play FPS that much. Um, well, I think the people that say they don't like a game because they're bad at it is because those are the ones that are actually the most competitive. And my wife is very competitive. Like, that's just how she is. Like, she'll be swearing at the screen. Kinda competitive. And I just sit there and laugh. Um, yeah, I had zero expectations for Overwatch, which I think is why I like it so much, because I didn't have high hopes for it with the beta. And then when I got in, I was just like, wow, this is so good. So they got their shit together with Overwatch. It is a quality game to me. So besides Overwatch, I am looking forward to Legion, World of Warcraft. Again, my friend at Blizzard got me into the alpha for that. So I've been playing that, and I don't know if you've played much WoW. I've played a lot of WoW. I've played more WoW than any game ever, probably. I'm pretty sure I have about 5,000 hours in it. That's not an exaggeration. My first account I played back in the day, when I was younger, that eventually got banned because I sold gold, and then they banned me in 24 hours. I had about 2,500 hours on that account, and then like a year later I made a new account, and then I've been playing since then, and you know, did not do anything stupid like sell gold and get banned again. And I have been playing that second account, since Wrath of the Lich King. I haven't done a slash played on all my characters, but I'm pretty sure that one's about the same amount of game time played as my first account, at least. I played a lot of WoW, like way back then in Vanilla and Burning Crusade. Like I was playing like 12 hours a week. Final Fantasy XIV to me is really slow paced. You might have liked Vanilla WoW. Or what about the pace of Final Fantasy XIV do you like? Because WoW is starting to kind of lean more towards like an action MMO, and I like that. You know, me liking Overwatch and liking real-time strategy Twitch kind of games, so I actually appreciate that of WoW, because it's that's just more my style. I'm just gonna nuke all her eye whites here because they're all in the wrong position. Yeah, it's kind of nice that Final Fantasy has that um, background of the lore has been there for, you know, since like what, Final Fantasy 3? I think on Super Nintendo they've kept it pretty consistent since Final Fantasy 3. So what is that, like 25 years? 23 years? Has all been pretty consistent. The NPC races are all established. I can definitely see the appeal to that. It's pretty much kind of like a nostalgia thing. Like if you played it a lot when you were younger, then like everything feels kind of familiar. I don't know the story of the game at all. Actually, I'm a huge fan of the story for World of Warcraft because I've been a fan since Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3 and Frozen Throne. So I love all the characters in the Warcraft series, like Arthas and Illidan and the Burning Legion and all that stuff. So I just like all that lore, and that is actually a big reason why I like it. Like, I don't care about the story that much, but I like knowing that it ties into previous games that I have enjoyed. Strange how this order is that I'm having to repaint when I erase a lower layer. That might be normal. Might have been how I like select deleted earlier. That's kind of neat. You can do like class switching. But another thing that appeals to me about WoW is its PvP system, and the whole arena competitive scene is pretty fun, and that's actually getting better in Legion by a long shot. So I like that competitive scene, and to me the way that the class system works in WoW is pretty good for the competitive scene. Like, the way classes work in the arenas and stuff, and the talent builds and everything is all really well thought out. So that's something I appreciate a lot. The cool thing they're doing in Legion is they are normalizing all of the stats of characters, which I think is like such a thing that need to happen forever ago, because you know, all MMOs have that gear grind. But PvP to me is not something that should be bound by the gear you have. It should be purely skill based. It's like playing Counter-Strike, except because you've grinded forever, you have better gear. So like, you're the only ones with the assault rifles, and all your enemies just have knives and pistols because they haven't grinded as much. And not only that, you have like the best body armor in the game, and they can never get body armor and helmet. So a quality PvP game needs to have a level field to where the only thing that makes you better is your skill. So what they're doing in Legion is they're actually normalizing all stats for all classes, for all talent builds, regardless of your gear, to have the exact same amount of health. So, like a holy priest will have the same health as a holy priest, and a death knight will have the same health and damage as another, like say frost death knight. But like, a frost death knight will have different stats than a blood death knight. So they went through and they tuned every class and every build. So every Frost Death Knight will be exactly the same as every other Frost Death Knight. That means the only way you would outperform other Frost Death Knights is because you're better. And that's just how PvP should work. It's like, you know, as you said, Dota. I don't know anything about Dota. I actually play Heroes of the Storm, again, because I enjoy the Blizzard lore and all that. So it'd be like if someone was playing Dota or League of Legends or Heroes, and your character was inherently stronger because you spent more time in the game. And I actually don't like that. I think time investment should be aesthetic, which is what Heroes has. League of Legends has a little bit of like power investment with the rune system, but it's pretty much all skill. And then Heroes has no rune system, so a level 1 that's like a master at Dota, a master at LoL could come in and decimate anyone at any level in Heroes, pretty much because it's all based on skill. So at 53 and 42, you probably just played in vanilla then, yeah? Supreme DDT. So, I pretty much cleaned all this stuff up. Last thing I gotta do is fix her eye whites. Um... I mean, they kind of are MMOs. I worked on Destiny, and... well... I don't think they're quite MMOs, because you, like... at least from what I know about Destiny, because I worked on it, like, if you go into a town, there's only a certain number of people that can be in town. Otherwise, you get it put into, like, another instance of the town. So I think there's, like, a 32-player limit of being in town, like the tower. So it's not true to the MMO in a sense to where you're actually seeing all the people in the tower, which is kind of what an MMO is. Like, at least, say, on your server, if you're in Ironforge or Stormwind or something, you see everyone on your server that's in Ironforge or Stormwind. You don't have an instance system in the large cities where there's like a limit to the number of people that can be in a large city. So that's what's cool about an MMO is you can have these cases where you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people all go to one location to do something, like maybe they're fighting or whatever. Destiny and the Division, you cannot. They're like, I wouldn't really call them an MMO so much as like just streamlined multiplayer. Or streamlined instancing multiplayer. Because when I think of MMO, I think of the ability to have 200 to 300 people in one place at one time. Okay, so I got her flat colors done. So now I'm going to go through and tweak the masks. So you can see her shadows are kind of screwed up on her face. That's because I had to copy over the stuff from her run animation. So I'm going to have to redo her shadows there. But what's most important is you'll see that some of the gradients, like right here, see how it's like dark here? That's because my top to down gradient doesn't actually match correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete, or no, I'm going to just clear it out. And then I'm going to go through and reselect. So Ponies. Skin. Lines. There. So now I'm going to delete this layer mask, reapply it. So now I gotta fix her shadows too. I haven't played Destiny in forever. I played it a lot like when it first came out, but that was about it. Okay, so painting in shadows. So this was the big thing. I need her neck. Go like this. Sun doesn't come from that direction. Like this. Oh, good for you. Now I hope that everyone gets drunk enough we can have like deep philosophical conversations about video games and life. And the nice thing is the convenience store is like a 2-minute walk away from me, so if things get real serious in here I can go and buy more beer if I really have to. And they even sell spam musubis, so I can like buy myself some musubis so I don't like starve to death on beer. Beer alone. That's pretty good. Redo this entirely here. What kind of beer are you drinking? Are you drinking some good old Pacific Northwest hipster favorite PBR? Or do you got your Heineken or something different? That's pretty cool. Having a mom as a gamer? I just got a text asking what I'm doing, and I'm gonna tell him I'm streaming. Stupid, silly goof. Now you're gonna be immortalized forever on YouTube, Chris, because you're asking me what I'm doing while I'm streaming. So I'm gonna link him my stream. There. So what'd your mom play growing up then? Cause I mean, she probably was playing games in like the 70s and 80s, which would be like arcade, Atari. I'd be down for that. But I wouldn't say that it's the AA fellowship, because I don't need to go to Alcoholics Anonymous. So I don't have a problem with like getting drunk all the time. In fact, I actually get drunk very rarely. The pace that I drink, like I drink it in a way to where it's kind of like muscle memory. Oh, I should be using this. I actually drink because it helps my stomach, because I have really like funky digestion, and beer actually helps settle my stomach. And I know like liquor can do that too, but if I drink liquor, then I will get drunk off that. And I also just enjoy the process of like if I'm like drawing with my Wacom and then I put it down, then I like take a sip of some beer and then I like start drawing some more. It's just kind of like a pleasant muscle memory kind of thing. And I won't really get drunk off it. I just enjoy the process of drinking liquids. Same with my water. Like I'm like my mom like that. My mom always is just like drinking some water, drinking some tea. And I definitely inherited that from her. And because I found that like beer helps my digestion calm down, I just kind of like sip on beer through the day and it just like helps my stomach and digestion just stay kind of chill. Otherwise I get like stomach cramps and like feel all weird in my stomach. And I've actually had that since I was a kid, and it didn't go away until I started sipping beer all day. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh, awesome. uh, yeah, AA could stand for Awesome Alliance. But if the AA is going for a beer run, then people might associate it with Alcoholics Anonymous. I had someone that said they want to cosplay as Poot. I'd be totally down with that. That'd be so cool. Actually, I had two people say that. A guy at Lana Lane, and then a guy that did the video for our patron, our promo video. He said he'd cosplay as Poot. So I have two people that actually would like to cosplay as a goofy owl man. Yeah. Beer and Spam Musubi run. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Main thing was I got her neck. We're about to reach the 2-hour point. We can do it. We can do it. I'm glad I have like you 3 or 4 people that actually like come and hang out, because if it weren't for you 4 people, I would just cry myself to sleep every night. Because we pretty much haven't surpassed like 8 viewers ever. Your mom couldn't wait. Your mom wanted to play Super Nintendo. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't have tryouts. Everyone can be Poot. Because, Poot's dance moves are actually quite the opposite. He has no idea what he's doing when he dances. He just moves his body like an idiot. That is exactly what I do when I dance. I don't know how to dance. I just shake my body like a crazy bastard. Pets will have 2 evolutions, just like classic Pokemon. This plays into the idea that pets will not actually level. So, again, like, the thing I didn't like about Pokemon was it was a number grindy game. So pets will evolve based off of world hidden items. That's what I do like about games. I like finding things around the environment. I like collecting all the little orbs or whatever, you know, a game would have. And then linking that to the power that you have in combat. Very much like a Zelda game. Very much like in a dungeon in Zelda, you would have to go and find your weapon, and then you use that weapon against the boss. Or like the heart containers. That's actually the best example. So out in the world, you have the quarter heart containers, you know, hidden. So you could potentially go through the game with very few heart containers by the time you get to like the end. But if you were on top of exploring all the random places and the caves and jumping into holes and figuring out like how did I get over there, then you get rewarded by getting like a heart container. And that made Link stronger. It made him able to withstand more damage. He could take more hits. And I thought that was brilliant by taking the aspect of adventure and turning that into encouraging players to explore, because you get rewarded with very good rewards for doing so. So with Gaimoria, I want to do the same thing. Like, I want the power that you obtain within the game to be focused on exploring the world and finding secrets, finding hidden things, and not being about grinding against things to level up. So the idea is there would be like, you know, some kind of orb or collectible item you see around the world, and they're hard to find. Say there's like maybe like 10 per pet evolution. So for your first pet to go from level 1 to level 3, which is its final level, it would take 20 collectibles. And then, but you have 3 pets, so you would actually have to find all 60 collectibles to get all 3 of your pets to level 3. And what that also allows you to do is like make each stage of your pet's evolution considerably stronger, because that further reinforces that you want to encourage players to explore the land to get to these stronger powers of pet evolution, because their abilities will, you know, do more damage, or they'll have new abilities, they'll look cooler. To me, like, I love pets that look cool. So for like when I was younger and I was playing Pokemon, I just loved that, like, oh, my pet's like, it just needs to be a couple more levels and I can see what its next stage looks like. Because back then you didn't have the internet, so the only way you could know how a pet looked was to play the game and level it and see it evolve, and that was super exciting. I mean, that's clearly not the case anymore, but for me, I like collecting things and having those collectibles be long-term investment. Getting closer. Two more frames, and then we'll be done. Potentially, for what I wanted to accomplish today. And then, you guys really, really want me to stay. Cherish is working late again tonight. So I could just, like, go get more beer. I could eat food, and then I could just work on other stuff. Cherish owns her own business, so she works late a lot. That's the benefit of being married to someone like me that's totally okay with that. Because I know a lot of people that are like, why do you work so late? Why can't you, like, be home? Oh, speak of the devil, Cherish is calling, so I'm gonna mute my mic real quick. There. We actually bought our Sega Genesis ourselves. We got Super Nintendo for like Christmas or something. It was like a combined gift from my parents and my grandparents. They all kind of like split and pitched in to get for us. But then the Sega Genesis was just me and my two brothers. We actually just saved up a ton of money. The funny story was when we went to Target to go buy it, um, we didn't have like solid bills. We just had hundreds of dollars in change. So when we went there, we had about, what was it, like 100, I think it was like $120, like $100 for the system, and we just had this essentially a giant piggy bank, and we dumped like $100 worth of change onto the counter. And I remember the guy just like looking at us. He's like, seriously? And yep, so we just stood there for about 25 minutes while he counted all the change to make sure we had enough money to buy a Sega Genesis with all of our quarters and dimes and nickels. Went home with the Sega Genesis and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yeah, he probably hated us, but he also probably thought it was cool, thinking, at least if I was in his shoes, um, I would have, yeah, kind of hated it, but I also would have been like, dang, if these kids, like, save this up themselves, then well, good on them. At least that's what I would think. So I think if kids can save their money and like save up to something big like that, then they're on the right path. They're not gonna be blowing their money on useless crap like PBRs. That's what I do. Yeah, let's take a look. Okay. That was for Infamous Second Son. I don't know if they got used in the final product, but that was concept stuff that I did while I was there, and then I ended up moving to Bungie, kind of like halfway through Infamous Second Son. So that was concept work that I did for Infamous Second Son for the pedestrians. Save this. And then I can go back to my run animation, since I am done with everything I needed. Enable all their colors and stuff. Oh yeah, I gotta fix the colors here too, because I moved their ponytails. I guess this is a good episode for me to be spending a lot of time fixing all this stuff. Because this stuff takes time. There. It's not correct. That's not the right color. Tell the difference. Yeah, what's wrong here? Why is this picking up such a weird color? Not the right color. Different layer. Paint sample. Well, I'm gonna just save and close Photoshop because I don't know why it's doing that. So I saved this one, we can close that, close this, reopen Photoshop, what it's doing. Run. Alright, back to her hair. What's going on here? This is the only thing visible. Oh, see, look, now it's fine. Some very bizarre... You guys probably can't see this due to like video compression, streaming stuff, but yeah. I don't know what it was doing. For some reason, it was choosing the wrong color. Yep, I got that question as you said, like episode 2. And that's because I can tell the difference between like vector-based oh. I can tell like the whole vector-based like animation thing usually goes kind of hand in hand with what's called puppet animation, where they essentially put pins in joints and then they animate things, and to me that always looks like absolute trash. I'm not gonna say it nicely, like it just looks like crap. And I don't want to do that. I don't want my animations to look like garbage. The general, like, public or whatever may not really notice, but I notice. This is too convoluted. I have too many layers for hair. So frame by frame animation just looks better. This is the kind of stuff you would see like professional Disney artists and stuff doing. They don't do silly like vector animation stuff. So since I kind of like combined all those layers, I need to clean up a lot of this. Frame by frame animation just always looks better. Always looks better. And it takes... There is some vector-based animation that looks very good. If you go to Google and search Legend of Mana boss fight, I'll do that. The boss fights in Legend of Mana, that was a PS1 game. They used puppet animation. But they were very... Whoa, loud. Pull it down. So, let me explain what's going on here. So, they have joints at, like, the elbows and shoulders and hands. And you can see, like, how they move. Like, how the feet don't move at all, but then the rest of the body does. And they're like, there's this weird-ass squish effect going on when they just, like, hit the boss. What the hell is that? You know, there's bad animation. But, see, this is, but there's, what's happening here is they have this puppet animation, but then a frame swap for the hand. So it's like when the puppet animation gets to a certain point, it swaps out for a different frame. So I'll just kind of let this play. But yeah, that's mostly what it is like things just have joints and then they kind of just move these frames. I think Rayman does that too, but Rayman is very well done. So Rayman's like one of the ones where they spend ridiculous amounts of time to make their puppet animations look really good. But that's just not what I want to do. It's a preference thing. Like, I just like how the frame by frame stuff looks, and it takes a little more time, but I don't really I don't mind with it because I just like how it looks in the end. It feels like you have a more finished product sooner, and to me, that's worth it. I finished that beer, so now I'm dry. It's the end of the world. I cherish. This is the longest stream we've had so far. It's up to 2 hours and 20 minutes. Because I really wanted to get this looking good before I was done with it. Izu Cake is my wife, the one I always talk so highly of. Alright. Now we're back to fixing the stuff that we broke before. Falcor, stop. Lie down. Yeah, it's something that, like, if you're not an animator or you're not, like, in the art development industry, you don't really notice it, but when you do notice it, you notice it a lot. So that's why I'm doing it frame by frame and not, like, vector, puppet. Vector puppet's kind of the easy way. And, people that see animation, they can tell. You can also tell by how they break up their sprite sheets. If you look at like a Rayman sprite sheet, I'll pull that up on Google real quick for you guys to see. You'll see that my sprite sheet has an entire drawing of Aniah, right? For every frame of her animation. Now, when I pull up a Rayman sprite sheet, because they don't do frame by frame animation, 10 points to Gryffindor, you can expect what to see on a Rayman sprite sheet. This is a puppet sprite sheet. You're probably thinking like, what the hell is all this stuff? This is what puppet animation does. So it's easier to like get animation stuff done because you aren't redoing every single frame. But what people are doing is they're putting a little like joint here or like a joint on the shoulder, and then they're just like moving the leg like this. And unless it's done by master puppet vector animators, it's gonna look really stupid. You can tell this is like her torso, this is her boobs, the boobs are on their own layer, these like feet and hands, like everything's broken up into little chunks, and then they attach them into a puppet. And then they animate the puppet. But with good puppet animation, they'll have different arms, so then they'll have sprite swapping in their puppet animation. So this looks like nonsense all jarbled up, but when they compile it together into something for a puppet animation, it looks like it's, you know, like supposed to. Good. Well, I'm Slytherin as well, so 10 points to Slytherin. So with this, you know, I don't have her arms broken off. I don't have her head and her eyes and her mouth. I don't have her hair, her ponytail, her legs. Like, she's not ripped apart into pieces and then pieced together like a puppet. Like a paper puppet. See if I can find that. It's like South... Oh, here we go. This is exactly what puppet animation is. Let me zoom that in for you guys. So you see how they have these like things connected at the knees and the elbows. This is like called paper puppet animation, and that is what vector-based animation does. Is it breaks everything out into chunks, so you could literally take her bicep, whatever arm out, you could take her forearm out, you could take her calves out, take their heads off, you could rip them apart into little pieces. That's puppet animation. That's not what we're doing. And with this, they have joints at the neck and the arms and all that stuff. It just doesn't look good unless you are a master. Yes. I'm really close to being done though. I just gotta finish her hair. I'm starting to get hungry again too, so I wanna wrap this up. Getting close to being finished. I don't want this to go for like 3 hours or something, so I do want to try to be concise. Alright, that's all good. I just gotta fix her hairband. Gotta fix her ponytail here. Oh, he's here already. That was fast. I'm gonna let someone inside real quick. Chris is here. My dogs are gonna go crazy, so I'm gonna mute my mic. Oh wait, my mic is back on. Maybe they heard the dogs going crazy. He didn't bring me a beer, so bad, Chris. Oh, it was muted. It should not be muted now, though. I mean, she responded to me. Focused on wrapping up this stuff. So you got Windows 8. Oh, even from Windows, yeah, that's what I have. I don't think you can even get Windows 8 anymore. Yeah, I have what I'm running right now is 8.1. Windows 8 was like the weird thing they released at first that broke everything. And then they were like, whoops. Yeah. So they're like, whoops. So then they They released 8.1 shortly after. Shh, Falcor. Parrish says hi. He's watching too. Right there. It's just part of my laptop.
Appropriate things happen to you.
Falcor. Alright, almost done. Almost done. Yep. Falcor and Hachi is our two dogs' names. Falcor from Neverending Story. Oh, now I'm her favorite. I hope your boyfriend is not jealous now that I am now your favorite. Chris is jealous. Alright, so this is all solid colors. Now I just gotta, like, fix a couple small things for her shadows and we should be done. I'm a hungry beast right now. I haven't eaten since, like, 1. But we got chicken in the fridge, so that's all good. Bless you. Bless you. Ingredients. Get rid of this. Bless you. Oh, what? Really? Get rid of all this stuff. Yep. You need to drink whiskey. We were talking about that earlier today. If you got sneezes, you gotta drink whiskey. Cherish has all the whiskey, though. Bless you. Yep. Cherish just said she's all for whiskey, and she has all the whiskey. Alright, so the last thing I gotta do is, like, fix the shadow on this hair, but we're gonna just save it right now just to make sure that all the stuff that I've been doing for the past, like, 40 minutes to an hour are exactly what we need. Because we haven't checked it in-game for a while. That's because I've just been fixing a million things in Photoshop. So let's check it. Alright. Good. No pop. Yeah, I mean, like, the shadow looks pretty shitty on her hair, ponytail. That's just because that's something I said I have to fix. But, like, from here to here, That's how we want it to look. Here to here. Very, very good. Very good. What is that taking us? We're at 2.5 hours now. So 2.5 hours to fix the pop, fix the colors. Yes. 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 Right. Yeah, that looks way better. So, I'm not even going to touch this today, but I also have to do her up run. And then we have all her sprint animations, which will take a lot more time too. But not today. So I feel like last thing I could do is I could just like fix the shadows on her ponytail, be done with it. Oops, click Firefox. Yep, that's all. That's all on my iPad. As long as I don't show people my iPad. All right, shadows. Yeah, I usually drink all her whiskey. I have what's called whiskey tax. If I ever have to go to her studio to help her, then the tax is I drink whiskey. But yeah, that's it. I'm making sure it's not poisoned every time I drink it. Alright, it's there. Save. Save the ping. Voila. Done. Cool. Alright, well I'm gonna end the stream because I'm freaking hungry. It's been like 2.5 hours since we started, and I haven't eaten in about 6 hours now. So, we got what we wanted done. Thank you for bearing with me. This was like an hour longer than I expected, but that's just what happens when you need to fix things. You can tell, like, she doesn't have a really weird pop now when she goes from this to this. She does not have a weird pop when she goes from this to this. It looks just as good as when she goes from this to this. So, just shy of 3 hours. That's what we had to do. And yes, thank you and everyone for coming and watching. And it is time for me to eat and not pass out from starvation. Alright. Well, GG's, kids. We will stream again Thursday, 4 p.m. Hawaii, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be putting this on YouTube as usual, so you guys can check it out. And yeah, thanks for coming and watching. Doodles.